Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first story is titled, A Very Bad Day Became a Bit Better When I Barred Him from the Store. I had a bad morning which was lifted a little by having some fun with a horrible customer. I went to a funeral this morning. It was sad in so many ways. Sad because he was a good friend. Sad because it was a suicide. Sad because only 10 people could attend COVID-19. Sad because I couldn't comfort the family afterwards. I decided to go straight to the store after the service, so I was in my best suit looking a bit smarter than normal. It's a well-known UK supermarket based in Yorkshire. I'll call it Marysons, which sounds nothing like its real name. I had only got 10 yards into the store when I heard an angry voice. I went towards the noise. The customer was on the BWS aisle next to a flavoured gin display and leaning into the face of a staff member. Loud mouth customer LMC, well, it's on your website, so why isn't it on the ducking shelf? Stressed staff member, the website is for online purchases, it doesn't mean it will be in stock at every store. LMC aggressively, well, it should ducking say that on the website. SSM meekly, I think you'll find it does, sir. LMC looks at the name badge, well, Kevin, a horrible mocking tone when he stressed the name, you had better use those puffy little arms that can't stand to be touched and drag your gay little cart into the back and ducking find one for me. The cart contained bottle lock security devices, so Kevin was obviously applying the security tags to the gin bottles. SSM Kevin, I know we don't because I've already checked for a lady earlier. LMC impatiently, you're ducking idiots. How do you stay in ducking business? This is the point where I walked up to the customer. Me politely, you're obviously having a problem, let me try to help. Come with me, sir, and we'll try to get something sorted out for you. I turned to Kevin and pointed to LMC's trolley, shopping cart for Americans, and I said, just leave this trolley here. We'll be back in a few minutes. The trolley was about a third full of food, etc. Kevin just stared at me and said, okay. I turned back to LMC and said, okay sir, you come with me and tell me what would make you happy. You don't have any valuables in the trolley, do you? LMC, no. Just a few things I needed. I only really came in for the gin that was on offer. I walk towards the door and LMC walks alongside me. Me, obviously the item you wanted isn't in stock. Instead of that, what would make you happy? LMC, I dunno. A free bottle of Tanqueray gin. You know, for all the stress and inconvenience. Tanqueray is on the expensive end for supermarket stock. We approach the door. Me, let me see what I can do. We have to go out of the store and back in through the side entrance. There is a strange one-way system because of COVID-19. Just follow me. He followed me out of the store, past the customer channels set up for social distancing. He was grumbling all the way. LMC moaning, maybe one bottle isn't enough. I had to deal with that spindly idiot shelf stacker back there. It took me ages just to get him to understand which gin I was after. We were about 35 yards from the entrance when I stopped him. Me, let me stop you here. Let me explain the situation. You won't be receiving any compensation. The only reason I've walked with you this far out of the store is because you were using foul language in the store where there are children. You were abusive and homophobic to a staff member. There is a zero-tolerance policy for any abuse, homophobia or racism. Listen carefully, you are banned from the store. For life. The comments you made to Kevin are hate speech. That is a criminal offense. If I wasn't so short of time, I would call the police. Instead, I am banning you. I don't want you to ever visit the store again. If I see you attempting to return to the store, I will call the police and a formal complaint will be made about your behavior and speech. I will be happy to provide a statement, I'm sure Kevin will too. I pointed to the security guards at the entrance. Me, you see that man and woman on the door? I'm now going to talk to them. I will suggest to them that if you even start to approach the door, they should call the police immediately. I wasn't going to report your homophobic hate speech, but I will if you don't leave the premises immediately without any trouble. LMC, I didn't do any hate speech. Me, puffy little arms, gay little trolley, that counts as hate speech. I'm also guessing that the camera will show you grabbing or touching Kevin. That is an offense even when we don't have the social distancing laws. LMC, I was just getting his attention. Me, I'm not prepared to discuss it any further. The sensible thing for you to do would be to leave and think you're lucky that you're not in the police station. If you want me to make a formal criminal complaint, then by all means I will. Please write to Marison's head office at Bradford. My name is Mr. Grumpy Old Fcar. If you can't remember that, just ask them to speak to the store general manager. Make sure you give your full name and address on the letter so you can be identified. I strongly suggest you don't keep abusing shop staff. It's not tolerated anymore. Goodbye. I walked back to the security staff. I said, that man over there, pointed at him as he crossed the car park, was abusing one of the staff. He's leaving, but you might want to be careful if he comes back. Security guard, okay, thank you. I didn't go back in. I stood at the door near the guards and watched LMC drive away. Then I went to my car and drove off. I bought the tea bags and milk that I needed at another supermarket. I didn't want to go back into Marison's in case LMC came back and they realized I don't work there. Or anywhere. I've never worked there. Retirement has turned me into a mischievous little bastard. The next story is titled, Stopped Miles from My Job and Threatened with Cooperate Complaints. Yesterday I was on my way to work for a certain big car wash chain. I had stopped at the gas station by my house on the way while in uniform. As I was getting back in my truck to pull out, a man recognized my uniform from the street, pulled in, stopped me, and this is how it went. Angry person, app. Me as me. App, hey, you. You work at that car wash place, right? Me, yes sir, I work at the one a couple miles away. App, you all started back taking cash yet? Me, no sir, we are not taking cash for time being. App, you know some people have to pay cash because they don't have access to you all fancy banks and debit crap, so when will you be taking cash? Me, that's up to Cooperate. Right now we're not taking cash due to COVID-19 issues. Out restrooms are also closed to the public. App, I'm going to call Cooperate, and I'm going to write them because that is discrimination and you cannot do that, people like me. Me, sir, I don't control policies. You can call and write all you want, but I'm going to be late for work and would appreciate it if you would back the hell up off my truck. I told my manager why I was late, and he thought it was insane. People get crazy. The next story is titled, Brown Truck Driver vs 2 Church Ladies. Backstory, I'm retired from Brown Truck Company and I had 17 boxes of church books for an address. Not uncommon for churches to have a residential address, but this address was a house. I get the packages on my two-wheeler, about 51 pounds, 23 kilograms, per box, go to the front door, knock, no answer. Okay, I'll stack them on the porch. Let the crap show begin. The players, me, brown truck driver. CLs, 2 really overweight, black church ladies dressed to kill. PH, one of the ladies' poor husband, I nominate him for sainthood. A Cadillac races into the driveway, stops, the doors fly open and the CLs run towards me, as fast as they could waddle, screaming unintelligible gibberish. The only words I could decipher was "not home." When they got to the stairs, the conversation that followed, paraphrased and edited for profanity, "Sister XXX ain't home. Are those our hymnal books? I'm Jewish and don't really know what that is." Me, I don't know what they are. We don't open the packages to see what's inside. Crickets. We need you to take them over to the church, follow us. I can't do that, I have to deliver them to the address on the label. Lots of profanity, with Jesus sprinkled in for effect. How do we get the address changed? Mrs. 4X has refused the shipment, and have it rerouted. Okay, we want to do that. Are either one of you Mrs. 4X? If you are, I'll need to see your ID to verify. They had already told me she wasn't home. More profanity with Jesus added in. Ladies, I have to leave the packages here. Can you take them inside? I can put them inside the door. PH, go get Mrs. XXX keys out of the car. He comes back with the keys and opens the door. I'm going to need you to take those to her office, down the hallway, first door on the left. Ma'am, I can't go inside the house, it's against company policy. More profanity, faking the almost faint, Jesus added in between F-bombs and white devil, I'm Jewish and look the part. The most I can do is sit them inside the front door. I'm not allowed to step inside the house. More profanity. PH, go inside and take those to Mrs. 4X office. He goes in and I start handing him boxes. On the third one he looks at me and says quietly, "F this." PH comes out and tells CL's Mrs. 4X can put that crap up herself, we're leaving. He starts towards the car. CL's standing on porch, dead silence, with their mouths moving like a fish. I start to walk away and hear our favorite words, "We're the customers, we pay your salary, you work for us." Oh hell no. Stop, dramatic turn. Ladies, I work for Brown Truck Company. I brought Mrs. 4X her crap, I'm done. Start back towards the truck and here, we're going to pray to Jesus for you, full stop again, dramatic turn. Ladies, I'm Jewish. I ignored the rest and left. The next story is titled, Facebook group bans me for falsely claiming I was commissioned by their group. So, I'm a freelance cartoonist. I specialize in character art and take commissions for various types of artwork, including portraits, logos, etc. Something really weird happened yesterday evening, and I have an interesting work story to share. So, apparently, I just got banned from a Facebook group for something I didn't even do. Let me explain what happened. As I said before, I'm a freelance cartoonist. And sometimes, I post in freelance and small business groups in order to find work. I was recently commissioned by an admin of a group called Autism Birthday Club of the World to create 2 birthday card designs. And I shared the first one, which I recently finished, in a lot of the groups that I'm in. Here is the caption I posted with the illustration I shared. Hello, everyone. Here's a custom birthday card design I did for Autism Birthday Club of the World, a group that promotes autism acceptance and ships birthday cards to autistic kids and adults. As an autistic young adult myself, I really wish I had something like this when I was growing up. And so far, I've had a lot of fun working with them. I was commissioned by one of the group admins to create 2 custom birthday card designs. Here's the first one, which I just finished. It's a baby dinosaur. Quote. A few hours ago, I got a comment notification from one of the groups I posted in. The comment was from an admin, and it said, "You weren't commissioned to do anything by an admin in this group," and below it, they tagged another admin. I immediately went to reply to the comment and explain that they misunderstood me and that I said I was commissioned by an admin of Autism Birthday Club of the World, and not an admin of their group. But when I went to do so, it would not let me type a reply. I refreshed the page and still had the same problem. I closed the Facebook app and opened it again. The notification was gone. I then searched for the group, and it was nowhere to be seen. There was no trace of it in the search results. Apparently, I got banned. I did not lie about anything, and I did not break any group rules. In the post, I stated the illustration in question was commissioned by Autism Birthday Club of the World, not the other group that I shared it in. I never once claimed to be commissioned by anyone I was not commissioned by. So, if you see any posts anywhere claiming that I falsely claimed to have been commissioned by an admin of any particular Facebook group, know that it is not true. This was simply a misunderstanding. The admins misread the caption and banned me for something I did not do. I did not lie, nor did I do anything wrong. And I'm not going to lie, I do feel a little bit upset that I was unfairly banned for something I didn't do. I do see how the caption could have been misread or taken out of context, but I also wish that the group admins would have asked me to clarify what I meant instead of jumping to conclusions. I messaged both of the admins to clarify what I meant. I explained to them that I said I was commissioned by Autism Birthday Club of the World, not their group, and I politely asked them if they could unban me. They have not responded, and I don't know if they ever will. But I do hope that they can understand that it was a misunderstanding. The moral of the story here is, please don't jump to conclusions. Even if you have good intentions, doing so can have very hurtful consequences. The next story is titled, I Fired a Guy Who Didn't Work for Me. I'm a locomotive engineer, conductor. One time I was called on a work train as opposed to a through freight. Through is just bring a train from point A to point B, one city to another kinda thing. A work train is a train where you work with a foreman and a crew to fix track, lay new track, or even just clean ditches. As a conductor of these trains, my only job is to tell the engineer what to do and when, while supervising anyone that may be working around my train. Most often the guys working near my train are contractors and don't have any affiliation with the railroad I work for. This one guy kept getting into some stupid situations where he was underneath the moving train trying to move rocks by hand. Now to me, and I would hope most of you, common sense would dictate that you don't want to be underneath a moving train. Even if it is moving at 0.5 miles an hour. This guy wasn't very bright to say the least. After 4 or 10 times of telling this fool to back off, I finally looked at him and told him to go home. You're fired, so he packed up and left. About 4 hours later his actual supervisor shows up and asks where he went. I told him I didn't know. All his other employees burst out laughing and ratted me right out. The conductor fired him. So I think I'm in trouble, so I try to explain why I didn't want him near my train, and the guy stops me and thanks me. He had been trying to fire him for some time and just needed a good excuse. The next story is titled, I Don't Work at Subway Yet. So as someone who was laid off in March, I enjoyed my last 4 months of work-free life, but Atlas, I need a job now. My state went into a green stage, meaning that many businesses are open now and hiring. I applied to as many as I could as a 17-year-old and landed an interview today at Subway. I went in around what little lunch rush they had and got pulled into the office for the interview. The way to get into the office was at the opposite end of the sandwich bar area, where there was a little flap door. A kinda sucky setup. I was walking towards it when a woman very angrily huffed at the side of me. I came out from behind the sandwich bar and looked at her. Can I help you with something? Yes you can. I've been waiting here for 20 minutes. Not true. The person working just went into the back to restock some of the sandwich fillings. I heard her say, give me just a moment please, I'll be right with you. Oh, I'm sorry ma'am, I don't work here. Yes you do. You came out from behind the sandwich bar. I saw you walk in there too. Only employees are allowed back there. You're absolutely right, but I hopefully will be allowed back there by my own will sometime soon. Look, I don't care if you just got off your shift or something. Make me a sandwich. Now, I've worked as a line cook before, and while I never talked with customers much, I did have at least some experience with that award-winning top-notch employee twinkle in my eyes, no smile cause of all the masks. I apologize for the inconvenience ma'am. I'll get someone to make your sandwich. No. Make it for me now. At this point I'm done with her BS, but if the manager comes out at any second and sees me bad-mouthing a customer, then I'm in trouble. Thank the good heavens above though, because the employee had come out now with extra sandwich fillings and started talking to the lady. I apologized to them both for the inconvenience and left while the employee was making her sandwich. Hopefully I was patient enough, or just all around nice, as how I described myself in the interview to the manager, who might have been watching the cameras. I was promised a call on if I get the job or not on Wednesday, so I'll update with the news after the call. The next story is titled, Okay, I work here but I don't work here. After I finished high school I took a job at a grocery store, part of the Kroger brand, for a few months. One day, after completing my shift, I was on my way home when I remembered I needed to pick up a couple groceries, so I stopped at another store from the chain. This one wasn't hiring, hence why my job was further away. I'm picking out my groceries when a lady comes up behind me and says, "Excuse me young lady, could you help me find something?" I'm not a girl, I just happen to have long hair, so already I'm a little annoyed. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I don't work here." "Why would you lie like that when you're wearing your name tag and uniform?" "Okay, yes I work here but I don't work here," I say, pointing to the ground. "Just because you're not stationed here isn't an excuse for you to not help me." "No, I mean I don't work at this store. I've already completed my shift at another store." Luckily, before this lady can go full Karen, an employee of this particular store saves me. "He's right ma'am. He doesn't work at this location. But I can help you." I mouthed her a quick thank you, and she nodded, and I quickly bought what I needed and left before anyone else decided to ask me for help. The next story is titled, IDWH while shopping today. Wife and I were at small town Dollar General. We just got off work as medical students. We are both wearing black slacks, she's wearing a blouse and no mask, I'm wearing a button down and a gator mask. We stop in the freezer aisle, pick out some ice cream, start walking again down the aisle while talking. The guy comes up behind us in the freezer section, and says, "Hey, since y'all are here, do you have those things you freeze and give to kids?" I'm kinda taken back, about to say, "You mean like freeze pops?" My wife speaks up, "Oh, sorry, we don't work here." The guy was really nice and chill. "Sorry, I thought you were checking the store or something." I thought it was hilarious and checked the workers there. Apparently store uniform is not super regulated, but includes a black t-shirt and grey pants, along with mask. Certainly not in line with what either of us were wearing. The next story is titled, I work at GameStop, this is a McDonald's. So last holiday season when I still worked for good ole GameStop, there was a McDonald's a block away that I decided to go to for my lunch break. We don't have a uniform per se, we just have to wear either a nice shirt or one that we sell and some nice pants with our name tag on. I'm standing in line after ordering my food, and this kid and his mum are standing a couple feet away from me, and I hear the following. Mum, it's okay, she works there, she'll be able to tell you. Kid, yeah mum, but she looks like she's on her break. Mum, oh it doesn't matter. Ask her, so we don't have to waste a trip. I kind of roll my eyes but turn to the kid when he walks over and ask him what's up. He then asks me if my store had some random, obscure PS3 game in stock. I kind of smiled, shrugged and said I had no idea, you'd have to call and ask or go up there and check. The mum gets really huffy when she hears that and is like, we don't want to waste all that time if you don't have it, so if you could just look it up on your phone that'd be great. At this point my food is ready, so I grab it and just shake my head at the lady. Sorry, but I'd have to be at a computer to do that. Listen, I have to go, I only have 10 minutes left of my break and I haven't eaten yet. Just call the store and they can check for you. I just kind of book it out of there and go back to the store and eat. A little bit later the pair comes into the store and the lady tries to report me to my manager for refusing to help her at McDonald's. My manager just laughs at her and says I wasn't on the clock or even in the store, so she can't help her. We didn't have the game, by the way. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comment.